Welcome back to the channel. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this video as we have a report on the latest details and disclosures surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's flight log list. Files have been released regarding statements made by people on Jeffrey Epstein's flight log list. Known only as Jane Doe 3, states she had a meet with Prince Andrew at 3 locations across the world, with one-on-one meets and several for underage orgies. This young girl and others were also flown parts of the world to take part in these orgies with Andrew and others. These girls would then be asked to report back to Epstein, giving Jeffrey Epstein a hold and insurance over certain celebrities. It is more than coincidental that this list is now being released this year before the presidential elections, as Donald Trump's interviews from years back have resurfaced and face scrutiny in the light of the Epstein flight logs. Donald Trump has not helped himself at all, or his case, with details that he hardly met Prince Andrew, if at all, before pictures were disclosed with him and Jeffrey Epstein. Pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein have also been disclosed, where they can be seen entertaining and posing with young teenage girls, with one that Jeffrey Epstein has his hand on a young female's leg.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s.
It was while studying footage and archive of Jeffrey Epstein with Donald Trump at a party of Epstein's at his home that another prominent figure I recognised, who is of giant stature and at least 7 foot tall. This person might not be recognisable to you, but to other people you will recognise him straight away. You might know him better as Jules from the film James Bond. This is the actor, Richard, I will say his surname as Kiel, when it is actually pronounced and spelled K-I-E-L. But for reasons with YouTube's guidelines and rules, I won't say his surname just in case I get banned. Like so many who have attended these parties of Epstein, he is also of Jewish descent.
That included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon's?
She's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this point yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
The details and story becomes much more dark and sinister, as logs show Stephen Hawkins as even attending Epstein's Island. Like seriously, what the funk? It'll be interesting to see if any references to boat trips and Disney will be brought up, and Disney hides no fact that it will organise snorkeling trips off the coast of James Island, the island that Jeffrey Epstein owned and where many of his parties and underage girls had visited. A spokesperson denied Disney was anyway involved with Jeffrey Epstein, and Disney and that many explorations or snorkeling trips are taken part or held off islands offshores.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean...
You are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.